Do you know what would drive someone to kill? I have been doing my research, which has shown why Ted Bundy is one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. Theodore Robert Cowell was born November 24th, 1946, to Louise Cowell in Vermont at an unwed mother's home. She abandoned him without wanting to return until her parents talked her into going back to retrieve him after 3 months. They raised him as their own child for 3 years, and he was raised believing that his mother was his sister. According to American Villains by Salem Press, it is unknown whether Ted's grandfather was his biological dad or who his dad was. Ted Bundy's mother moved him to Tacoma, Washington after he was 3 years old and married a man named Johnny Bundy, who adopted Tim, and that's where Ted Bundy comes from. Ted Bundy was the first of 4 kids. He was intelligent and he was raised in a Christian, normal family. He showed signs of being a loner and resented his mother because of not knowing who his biological father was. He grew up peeping into the windows of women, as well as picking through their trash looking for pornographic material to see what women looked like. He never saw a naked woman or her body, and he was afraid to ask his mom because of his hate that he had towards her. During his adolescence, he showed signs of disturbia, but there was nothing drastic to make anyone look at him differently. As a college student, he dated Stephanie Brooks, who was beautiful. She was outgoing. She was everything that he wasn't. Her parents came from wealth, and she had nothing to worry about in the world. He loved Stephanie dearly until she broke his heart, and that seems to be according to William Harmony in his book Serial Killers, when Ted Bundy flipped and started to kill. It is currently unknown of the first murder of Ted Bundy, but it is known that his first assault was of 18-year-old University of Washington student. He left her disfigured and blinded permanently. A month later, he decided not to make the same mistake, and he actually killed for the first time. From 1974 to February of 1978, Ted Bundy killed between the states of Washington, Utah, Colorado, and Florida. He would fake injuries such as wearing his arm in a sling and wearing a cast on his leg to trap women to help him get to his vehicle where there was no passenger seat, where he would bludgeon them and throw them into his vehicle. Once he would get them to the destination, where he would decide whether he would bludgeon or strangle them. Once they were dead, he would mutilate their corpses and have sex with their dead bodies. He was first arrested in 1975. The police that arrested him for running a red light found masks, handcuffs, rope, and bondage material in his vehicle. He was arrested, but they had no grounds to hold him, so they released him. A month later, he was rearrested for assault of one of his co-workers. He fled a year later during a transfer from Utah to Colorado and was recaptured by the end of the week. He escaped a year later in December 1977, where he killed 6 more people, which included 5 ladies in a sorority as well as a 12-year-old junior high school student. An eyewitness saw him leading the little girl from her school to a van which he stole. It took 8 hours for the jury to deliberate and come back with a guilty plea, which sentenced him to death for the last of his 3 victims. Bundy declined his final meal. He cried as the prison guard shaved his right leg and his head. It was exactly 9 years, 277 days after his sentencing in which he was about to seek his death. The warden asked him if he had any final words, in which he said that to give his love to his family and his friends. The electrocution began at 7:06 and he was dead by 7:60.